What up? Good morning, everybody. My name is Nick. Does Link look a little taller? Nah, it's just me. So we're gonna get through Jabu's belly in this playthrough, and it took me years to kind of get the sequence down in this dungeon before I was really able to run through it quickly. Whoops. So there's these series of holes that you have to fall down. Once you kind of map where they are in your brain, it's a lot easier. Or once you sort of have the dungeon layout in your head. So basically, we're going to be trekking through this place with Ruto in tow, and that's what makes it a little more challenging. We want to knock these Skulltulas, at least get them killed before, and we'll need the boomerang probably to gather those up. Alright, so we're going to take Ruto. We're going to walk her back through this hallway. You can actually chuck her at the floating beery, I think they're called. They're bubbles, but they always got a cute name for each of the enemies in Zelda. It'll be like a spider, but they'll call it a Gnubnub or something. Lots of Skulltulas in this dungeon. Hey, shouldn't we be heading? Well, I'm sure we should, but weren't I just using her as a step ladder? Or I mean as a weight. Gotcha, bitch. Alright, I think that was finally it. Collect our one Skulltula that we can access. Do I have bottles? I do have bottles, don't I? Items. Oh yeah, they're right here. Got them. It's always weird collecting fairies. It's very forgiving. The mechanic kind of just lets you swipe in the general vicinity, and if you're anywhere close, it'll collect the fairy. So I am gonna need Ruto again. I probably gotta go run through the sequence again to drop her back down. That's why this level can be tricky. See, I'm getting turned around again, and I actually remember how to beat this. This is a confusing dungeon because. Alright, I'm gonna run through it. Let me bump back down to Ruto, and then you'll see. Alright, she always starts on this platform. And the game wants you to pick her up, walk back through the door with her. This corridor first. There it is. The trick is throw her up on the ledge. I don't know why that's so confusing, but it always seems to. I always seem to forget that part. That you don't use her to just set it down on the switch. You actually use her. You throw her ahead and then get her. Enemies that you can't kill with your sword, like a bubble. Not a fan of that. I mean, I can throw Princess Ruto at her as a projectile, but I can't stab it with a sharp sword. But a human or a fish creature will definitely bust that bubble. Old fish girl. Notice that Link's putting old fish girl right on top of his face. I thought it was cute. Eh. Well, that was spectacular. Holy shit. I know the game wants it wants to save the boomerang. It wants to save some thunder or some limelight for the boomerang. That's why it doesn't let you kill the bubbles, because there has to be something enemy-wise that the boomerang makes easier to deal with. And so that's why they had to like artificially constrain the weapons that'll kill these bubbles. It's stupid. I think they should have gone for realism and just allowed the sword to be a sword. Because believe it or not, these bubbles are probably the #1 like enemy in this dungeon. Like the thing that's actually going to end up chipping away at your health and making this hard. The stupid bubbles. And so it's cause for celebration when you can finally neutralize them. Besides with just the princess. I wonder if Ruto knows about Zelda. I'd imagine that Link probably is into Ruto, you know. She's like that exotic fish girl from the other side of the tracks. Old penis face. Are you serious, man? Gotta wait a whole nother cycle. So we dropped down to the first floor, grabbed Princess Ruto, made our way back over here, and now this is kind of where it gets a little confusing for people. That part we just did was the easy part. Now you're gonna go back with the princess, pass up all these holes in the floor, and go towards this trident shaped area, right? And there's gonna be the blue platform. I think it's the only one you can actually do for now. You gotta leave her on it. I could be wrong. I might be getting this backwards. Yep, I'm wrong. I need the boomerang. Shit. All right. Let's see. How inconsiderate. Yeah, what a dick, Link. Can't believe you left me. You set me down to go get us out of this dungeon. You inconsiderate ass. One more? Nope. All right. Is this the map? This might not even be the boomerang. It is though, that's right. It's been a year since I've actually played through this. Alright, so we're going to equip the old boomerang. Go ahead and replace the bombs for now. The way I operate in this game is mainly the two physical item buttons I save for weapons, for item weapons, and then the less important, like maybe like a one-time use item, I'll stick those on the virtual buttons. That way I can, you've got to, when you're playing Citra, you've got to plan out your playthrough with the mouse, you know, your mouse and keyboard, or really just the mouse has got to be a actual part of the playthrough, you know, so, you know, the mouse is an extension of your controller on Citra, and so anything that you're gonna need quick access to, like where timing is gonna be an issue, you're gonna really want to map it to the physical buttons, and then have your mouse on the secondary, the touch screen, kind of adjacent to where you're gonna click. So you want to have your mouse cursor resting near the click area. Anybody that's playing Citra, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, but yeah, that's the only kind of consideration for a playthrough of the 3DS, is that it's a little more complicated setup-wise. I mean, it's probably simplified in some ways and more complicated in others, because like an N64 playthrough, you can control the entire game with just the controller, and that is handy for, you know, if you don't want to use a keyboard or a mouse at all in the playthrough, you can have the N64 experience where the controller is the only limitation, or the only input. But I think it ultimately, like, this is a optimal way to play the game is 3DS. just like that, we got all 3 large chests. I do like that about this dungeon, is that once you do figure out that little trick of where to go with Ruto at the beginning, and once you get to this split off area, it becomes pretty simple. You just basically make your way into all the areas. Here we go. Oh no, I just came out of there. There we go. And you can just kind of rotate around this guy as you hit him with the, as you lock on and hit him with the boomerang. Or you do have to entice him by drawing into the center of the room to make him come down, and then you can hit him and just back up and hit him. Alright. And the goal is to take out all 3 of the tentacles in this region. So there should be, where we saw the tentacle earlier, it should now be gone. And yeah, here we go. So this one's missing. Oh no, I'm sorry. We already did here. I think we already did this too. I just want to check. You know what? We did that one. Alright. Is that everything? We'll go check the central room, or the center. This might be the last one. Yeah, this is it. One more. That'll do it. And that's going to trigger a little sequence here where a platform is going to raise. Nope. It's a different room. Damn. It's a labyrinth. Alright, you see where I just dropped down? All right. This is the aforementioned platform, right Right, yeah. Oh, sorry, Paul. Sorry, baby Paul. The little dog's down here. I almost ran over him. Octorok. It's a big old Octorok. And the trick in this little mini dungeon is to do this. You want to stun him, and then as he wakes up, hit him again, and he might not go the direction you want. But if he runs into you, he will. And then you can just kind of target him. And you can try to catch up to him and hit him with your boomerang, but if that doesn't work, you might have to turn around and go the opposite direction. And same trick as I just mentioned, but opposite direction. And once you've exposed his little weak spot, then that's pretty much it. It's the secret to the boss fight. You just gotta keep doing this and repeat until he's stunned. See, it's not gonna work. Get him now. Yeah. Cock your boomerang and wait till he starts to wake up. That's really the key. And that did it. Shriveled back up into a empty balloon. Alright, so that's pretty much more or less the halfway point, but this dungeon's pretty much over at this point. We just gotta kind of go through the motions now. I'm stocked up on fairies. You will need fairies, especially after the child portion of the game. Once you start dealing with bosses in the later half of the game, you really do need fairies. Those can offset not having very many heart pieces. Alright, now we've moved that little section downward, and I want to grab one of these boxes over here like before. Go ahead and do that. Oh. I would take out as many of these as I can before I even get into the room. Hey. Skulltola. part's a little funky. But you can get it to hit the switch just like that. Back through the wrong door. Apparently in the Master Quest version of this, the inside of the Jabu's belly has got cows on the interior. I have seen it before. I have done like a playthrough where I got to Jabu's belly. I've never been able to beat Master Quest so far without a guide. I meant to go in this door. This is the door that I was supposed to enter. Which unfortunately I just undid all my jellyfish progress. You have to be close. All right. Here we go. Go ahead and save state in case we need to cheat. Shouldn't be necessary. This is a pretty easy boss. Baronade. Bioelectric anemone. Anemone. I would do the same tactic as I did before, just kind of rotate around him, like so. Ah, fuck. And there are supplies if you get... You're gonna probably take some damage during this, so you're gonna definitely want to re-up on supplies while you're... And then just slash away, man. Like once you're in there, and now you see the inside, the interior is still able to get hit, but with this amount of spinning appendages, you're not going to be able to get a shot in. And so this is kind of just a part where you got to watch out. He's shedding little drops of goop on the ground. Just kind of, One thing I will say about, like, playing Ocarina on the 3DS, I mean, the same thing can happen to you in the real game. But look, this has just happened to me twice. During the time when you're able to go in and hit him, I shoot my, if you throw your boomerang again, the throwing sequence from the boomerang, literally, like if you lock into a boomerang sequence right when it's time to go hit him with your sword right here, it's not gonna, you're gonna miss your chance, is what I'm trying to say. Not that it matters, he's easy enough. can do our damage. Now he's going to gear up for his big attack, but it doesn't really matter. We're about to get him. It wouldn't matter anyway, because I've got fairies, so if he does kill me, it'll be okay. Probably get him on the next group of attacks, I'll get him. But yeah, just keep rotating him around him. See how I'm doing? And he doesn't really, like the game, the way it's programmed, he's not going to really be able to catch you if you just keep moving. And one of your boomerang shots will land. See what I mean? He's pretty, there you go. Pretty simple. Takes a couple of rounds of slashing, but you'll get it. And just like that, we are the proud owner of 6 pieces of heart. Princess Rudo has given us a look like an angry housewife. Duh. You're late. What took you so long? You're useless. I wonder if Link's into that kind of abuse. He wants a broad like that. You looked cool. Cooler than I thought you would anyway. Just a little. Huh, no big deal. I mean, I guess, you know, like whatever. Well, anyway, you saved me, so I guess I'll reward you. Just tell me, what do you want? Nothing? Don't be so shy. Here's your stone. Mother said I should give it to only the man who will be my husband. You might call it a Zora engagement ring. I like how she swims back right here. Like a whale. I seem to remember in the N64 version, she like swam back and it just kind of flew out of her. I always thought it was cool how they receive and give away objects in this game, and then as you get older and you wrap your head around the game itself and probably how it was programmed, you realize that every object in the game that's given or taken is not really like, you become more aware of the limitations of the programming as you get older, and you play a game like this for years and years and play it several times over. You start to see how the item management system works in the game, and you realize that every like power-up that's floating around, like a heart or an ammo, is really just a representative quantity, and like you can't necessarily like grab an enemy sword that falls down because it's not able to be loaded into memory as one of your weapons. You know, you realize how the programming limits what you can actually do. We got one bomb. Well, go ahead and use it right here. Oh, I probably can't blow that one up. Okay. You got a gold Skulltella. And I believe there is a fairy upgrade over here. Oh, that's right. I can't go up in here until the ice platforms are there. So never mind. I love this overworld music, I really do. This song is one of my favorite video game soundtracks of all time. Or one of my favorite compositions, I should say, of all time. In music, period. Did my spiritual stone help you, Link? Lonk? Alright. We can get that piece of heart, but... No, I think we need a chicken for that. Okay. Getting paid to slide down the river. I wish my local river gave out money like that. I'd be going down it every day. How beautiful. I do really enjoy the upgraded lighting effects. It's one of the best graphical improvements to this version. Stuff like this wouldn't quite look like that in the old game. It would do a sunset, but it wasn't that dramatic and that beautiful, I don't think. Especially the way the lighting changes on the field itself. Man, Ganon looks unsettling right there. Shit. Damn. Yay! Alright, everybody, you know what that means. We are now able to turn into an adult. Oh wait, not before getting the ocarina though. Shit. Duh. You found the Ocarina of Time! Yay! Nick, can you hear me? It's me, Zelda. Had to go turn my air conditioner on. It's a little warm in here. I wanted to wait for you, but I couldn't delay any longer. At least I could leave you with the ocarina and this melody. Y-L-R, Y-L-R. That's how I remember the songs. I sing the letters out in a melody to myself. So like X-A-Y, X-A-Y. Kind of just map them geometrically on the controller basically in my head. Now, Nick, play this melody in front of the altar of the Temple of Time. Hey, what's up, dude? Oh, you had a power failure? Oh man, that sucks. I got on for a second, but I thought you were saying like, oh hey, this is like a private room for some people I invited. I was like, I thought you were saying that to me. I wasn't sure, so I was like, uh-oh. So I got off, and then I went and looked for you again. It wasn't live any other time last night, or I looked a few times, but I fell asleep around like 9 last night. I was pretty tired. I woke up at 3:30 yesterday morning. I'd be getting up super early. What so what happened? You just lost power, lost internet, and then you weren't able to stream? Oh no, yeah. I don't have Mario Wonder on the Switch. I had a a backup copy that I had checked out with Yuzu, and I haven't been able to get Switch emulation really running correctly on my setup yet. But um, yeah, obviously, if I was able to just play the real system live, it'd be ideal. It's funny how the Switch itself is like a just a a mid-powered like Android device basically. It's not like super powerful as we all know, but yet on my PC that's objectively much more powerful than the Switch. Through emulation, it's not. It doesn't run. I can't get games to run like they run on the actual Switch, despite my PC being several times more powerful than the Switch, graphically at least. I don't even know how much GPU memory does the Switch even have. Like 4 gigs, 2 gigs maybe, 2 or 4. It can't be 8. So y'all are running through Mario Brothers Wonder, or that's what y'all would typically do, is do a playthrough. You can do multiplayer on that, right? Like co-op multiplayer on Mario Wonder? But well, no, I said the emulation wasn't good, but I was able to get Mario Brothers Wonder running pretty decent on my machine under Yuzu. But obviously, like those emulators have been going through some turmoil lately. I know a couple of them got taken down. There's forks of some of these other Switch emulators that have been taken down. There's like new forks of them out there, and there's lots of new emulators probably coming on the scene lately just because of some getting shut down. But I'd like to be able to run Switch emulation for this channel, but Until I get it looking decent, I probably won't showcase any of it. Like, I was able to play Mario Wonder more or less, but the game would slow down or have this weird lag every so often, and I couldn't seem to get rid of. I'm sure it was just an emulation artifact. I have no doubt that Switch emulation will be very impressive within like a year or two. Regular Switch's memory data, I think, is the same as the Wii U. Yeah, it's not much. It's probably I think it's 4 gigs. Evil rules all, an awakening voice. In the sacred realm will call those destined to be sages who dwell in the 5 temples. Yeah, Mario Brothers Wonder looks incredible. I mean, I played a little bit of it. I saw like the wonder mechanic, how that's kind of, I guess it's like the better your sequence is in the level, you there's some kind of upgrade that happens along the way when you're playing through. I'm sure you know. You could probably tell me how it works. Basically, Sheik just told me that I need a piece of equipment that would make my quest easier. I love the reflection on the Temple of Time floor. That's one of the little things I noticed. The little specular lighting highlights, like that's something that most definitely was not in the N64 original. Nor were these fully modeled versions of the Temple of Time. This was just a static image in the original. Like we use 32 gigabytes. Yeah, well, so the storage capacity is 32 gigabytes. But I'm referring to the GPU in the system itself. So, like, you've got a 64 gig SD card in your Switch, or 128. Or a 32 gig SD card in your Wii U. Yes, like that's basically its hard drive. But in terms of system performance, is graphical memory, like, so my graphics card in this computer has 8 gigabytes of RAM, which is separate from the storage capacity of my hard drive, which is 2 terabytes or whatever. So yeah, those two things are both measured in gigabytes, but the GPU memory would be an indicator of like the type of performance you can get out of the system. So I know the Switch is an Android ARM processor of some kind. And it's got some kind of NVIDIA. It's got the NVIDIA Tegra GPU in it. Oh shit, Ingo is out here. There's some people in Kakariko spreading rumors that I, Ingo, am a shitty stable tenant. Sure, Ingo, I'll ride your horse. I always remember Epona's song is just 3 notes that are in a row on the controller, left to right. I know. I always there's something that triggers the race, but I seem to be a little misguided on it. Yeah, I know I gotta do Epona's song to even be able to mount Epona, but then after that you want to jump 2 of the obstacles or jump both of the obstacles and then talk to Ingo again before time has expired. I think that's how you do it. I always manage to get Epona, I just forget how it's done. And she is basically required unless you want to get over the Gerudo Valley jump a different way with a long shot or something. You're getting better. Here we go. Yeah, let's say you're getting better. How about a race? And how about a save state before the race, too? How about that? How about that? I like to use this method of beating Ingo where you just kind of block him with his own graphics. Use his own assets to stay in front of him. Don't let him pass you. I don't even know if he's able. I don't think he can push through you, so if you block him, he's gonna you're gonna beat him. And then save state that, just in case. You wanna use the carrots and then just kind of don't let him. Uh-oh, did I just warp this? Yeah, I blocked him. Completely blocked him out of his own zone. Well, now he's gonna give me Epona, but lock me in the ranch. What a dick. I'll give you the horse, but I'll never let you leave. Oh, Ingo, you evil man. You evil bastard. Alright, we've got our horse, got Epona, and we're about to face the first dungeon of the game. That's going to be the Forest Temple, which means we got to go grab the